That's the reward in itself.
Right.
Everything else is a side effect.
Why is home ownership so important?
It's very important to well to me because it feel whether people know it or not, you're paying somebody's mortgage.
Mhm.
So if you're renting, you're not paying your mortgage,
Right.
but you're paying somebody else's mortgage.
Right.
But for home ownership, that's pretty much well really sitting on a gold mine because that's the ultimate investment. So as you
Absolutely.
have your own home, you're also investing in yourself, and not only yourself. These are come, so you could will your home to the generation below you. Or if you got kids, it can be an investment for them. But I tell anybody who is willing to hear it that home ownership is 10 times out of 10 more important than renting.
Absolutely. It is the way to create wealth. And so many people don't realize how much you can do when you are in a home.
Mm,
Even if you don't sell that home, you can use the equity in your home.
there you go.
But people get stopped and they just stop because they're like, you know what, my credit score's not where I need to be. I'm going to wait. How do you help them navigate that?
All of it starts with one simple thing, and that's a conversation. The hardest part about this industry, or hardest part about the process, is convincing you that it's for you.
Yeah.
That's it. If I can convince you that you can be a homeowner too, everything else is down here. I would say probably 25% of my clients, they're not ready. They're not in position. But that's when we take the time to say, hey, there are no no's here. It's either, look, you're ready to go, here's your peer approval, or let me show you how to get in position. So credit is a huge barrier, especially in our community, to where it's uncomfortable. A lot of people don't like to talk about credit,
Right.
but it's good to have that uncomfortable conversation so you can get to the next level. Because I'd rather show you, hey, this is where you are. Let me give you a blueprint to get here, and I'll walk you through the whole way. Versus you just not knowing and say, hey, my credit's not right. I don't think I can buy that.
Yeah. Can someone actually hurt their credit score by trying to take care of their credit on their own?
Absolutely. Point in case, we have people all the time that, let's say, if they're not credit ready,
Mhm.
I could either go through some algorithms to get them in position, or I can refer them to a credit partner who can do a deeper dive into credit.
Yes.
I've had clients all the time say, yeah, that sounds good, but I'd rather see what I can do on my own with the
Mhm.
credit, which in some cases that
Yeah.
may work, but you may be paying off something that doesn't need to be paid off. You may be looking at other avenues that doesn't affect you getting the home process.
Mhm.
Now, whether you purchase a home or not, we want everybody to have their credit in position because you don't just want to get your credit right to buy a house.
Right.
You want to get your credit right for it after living in the home. So yes, it's better to have a professional take a look at it just to line up and give you options.
Gotcha. And like the title says on this video, June is National Home Buyers Month. So that was one of the reasons I want to have this conversation in June. So if there's anyone listening, you get encouraged because it's National Home Buyers Month. Come on and start the process. Okay. We have a whole month dedicated to first time home buyers. But I also want to say to the people who are already in homes and maybe you want to build your portfolio, do
Mhm.
you help people in that situation as well?
Abs- Absolutely. If you're already in a home, or if you're first time home buyers, we have ample programs for you. We literally have over 1,100 programs.
Wow.
So just in our city alone, we do more business with first-time home buyers and repeat buyers than the second, third, and fourth lenders combined. So we have programs that could pretty much fit anybody under the sun.
Yes. A lot of people are concerned about their down payment. So if someone comes to you and said, hey, listen, I don't have much saved up for my down payment, plus there's some credit card bills I need to pay off, what do I do?
There is a myth that goes around that's got a lot of future buyers scared that states that you got to have 20% for your down payment. That is in no way, shape, form, or fashion true. We have programs to where you can put 20% down to avoid different insurances or things of that nature. But we have programs to where you can get as little as zero down. I literally have programs that will cover down payment. I'm authorized in USDA, which is fully funded, or VA loans, which are fully funded. They don't come with down payments. So it starts with just a conversation to see what's beneficial for you. And we get things all the time from people or from outsiders in the industry to say, well, you got to have a conventional loan. That's the best loan. That's not true. The best loan is the one that comfortably gets you to the closing table to
Exactly.
where you feel great about it. That's the best loan, which
Okay.
again, we have options for you.
All right. So how do we get to the closing table? What's step number one, number two, number three, number four? How do we get to that closing table?
Step number one is getting pre approved first.
Okay.
There's something called a pre approval, and there's something called a pre qualification. A pre qualification is something that you may have seen it getting a credit card and you get a link that say, hey, you're pre qualified. Apply here to get pre approved.
Mhm.
Well, a pre-qualification is just a first or surface level pre-approval. Get your name, your information, you tell us how much you make, and that's basically it. Well, I go deeper with getting you pre-approved up front, and that's virtually just getting us your documentation, however your means of income whatever form of income you use, whether you're a 1099 and get self-employment, or if you're a W-2, or if you just get, say, benefits. We use all forms of income that we can verify.
Okay. So I have to ask you the question about the people who are self-employed.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of them believe because I'm self-employed, it is harder to get approved.
Not necessarily. I can understand why they would say that, but no. 9 times out of 10, when somebody would say that, it's because they may have, say, not claimed a lot on their tax returns, which is understandable. Well, we take a look at your last 2 years of tax returns if you're 1099, and we do an average. Your average comes from income calculation from underwriting. However, we got programs to where it may not involve your tax returns at all. We have what's called bank statement programs. And I have a lot of investors or a lot of self-employed clients that go this route to where it doesn't involve tax returns at all. It just goes off of a 12 or 24-month period of your bank statements for your business.
Does that initial pre-qualification ding your credit?
It depends, and that's a very good question. It depends on how it's done. There are things called what's called a soft credit pull and a standard credit pull, which is known as a hard pull in the industry. A soft pull does not have any bearing on your inquiries or on your credit. However, a soft pull may not pull up everything either. If you have some government loans or if you have some student loans, it may not track all of it because it's virtually just to give you a peek into someone's credit.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, we recommend doing a standard pull because even if your credit's not ready, well, guess what? It's my job to show you how to get there.
Right. Okay. And so what's next in the process?
Once you get your peer approval and we have all of your questions answered, you're comfortable with what your payments are, you're comfortable with if there's a down payment and the closing costs, then we actually ask or connect you with your realtor. So most of the time, clients come paired with realtors. Occasionally, they may not.
Yeah.
So we, get you with your realtor so we can all have a discussion of where your comfort zones are, what your purchase power is. Can you go above that? Things of that nature. So getting your pre-approvals first, connecting with your realtor so you can start house hunting is next, which is the fun part. Pre-approvals out the way, now you get to go shopping.
Exactly.
Once you start finding homes that you like, we'll run over numbers that are specific to the house that you're looking at. We'll run taxes on it, run insurance on it to make sure that that particular home fits what you're looking for. And if you're given the green light, guess what? We're ready to put in an offer on a house.
And I love that you do that because that's really important. We don't want anyone to get in a home and be home poor
Mm,
because they don't think about all the added expenses that come with home ownership.
very correct.
Yeah, you're going to have a higher light bill, for example.
Hmm.
So I'm glad you think about those things
Hmm.
with your clients. Okay, so tell me if someone were to come to you today and say, "Hey, I've been saving up for past 10 years to get into this house. So I think my credit score is over 600. How soon can they close?"
In general, I would tell them it's normally a 30-day process.
Okay.
However, if we got all the documents
Mhm.
needed, I can get you pre-approved in 24 hours
Okay.
to where get you in a home in as little as 7 to 10 days. That's rare, but in
Mhm.
a perfect scenario, we can get
Yes.
you in a home in less than 30 days, but on average 30 days.
That's awesome because I know there are people out there who have been thinking about home ownership.
Hmm.
They have been preparing, they've been saving up, they've been doing what they need to do. And so for those people, that's encouraging to know that,
It
hey,
is.
you could be in a home right around the end of National Home
That's
Ownership
right.
Month.
That's right. You can reach out to Miss Rhonda today, and you can still get into a home before the end of June.
Yes, yes. Okay, and that's encouraging because some people, hey, we are in a microwave society. So,
Yeah,
but if you know
correct,
what you want and you're prepared, then we can move forward. And even if you don't know exactly what you want, that's why you're here to help
correct,
them get prepared.
correct.
Yes. So, anything else on that path to getting to the closing table?
Well, outside of your comfort zone, because we would already go over that with your pre-approval. We'd already get you connected with your realtor so you can start house hunting. Once you do find that home and go under contract, then that's when the process really starts.
Okay.
To where you'll gain what's called a processor. So you'll gain somebody else aside from me that'll help take you down the path of getting documents for the underwriter, reaching out to you to make sure that you're comfortable with the process. The entire process from that point takes about maybe 7 days.
Okay.
We order your appraisal to make sure that the value of the home matches what you're getting.
Yes.
But once you get through underwriting, we'll make sure that all documents are sent to all parties.
Mhm.
And again, that process takes about 7 to 10 days, but that's the latter part of the process. So again, just more of giving documents, making sure that everything's fine tuned. And then you get the keys and a few days after that at closing, and that's when the celebration really starts.
So, is there anything different in that process for someone who gets a USDA loan or a VA loan?
Well, the process itself for them wouldn't be different,
Mhm.
but the documentation needed may be different. Because when getting a fully funded loan like a VA or USDA loan, there are a few things that you may not have to provide, but it just is case specific, if that makes sense. So the process in all is virtually about the same, but the documentation may vary of what's needed to get it.
Gotcha. I heard that most veterans don't even use their eligibility to help them get a home.
And that's very true, but the reason is they don't know. And a VA loan is one of the strongest
Mhm.
options you have if you're eligible, because again, it takes away no down payment, and the veterans are very, very protected.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us on Instagram. We appreciate you being here. So, USDA,
Mhm.
is it true you have to be in the middle of nowhere to
No,
qualify?
absolutely not. UNCA is virtually just a rural area
Mhm.
program.
Okay.
Does that mean you got to be in the boonies? No.
Okay.
We have different counties that are quote unquote, city areas,
Mhm.
but it's more of a rural area loan.
Yeah.
And we check to see if a home qualifies for that
Yeah.
before we even go down that path. So we can tell you if it's USDA eligible or not.
Gotcha. What about someone who's an investor and let's say they want to buy a duplex?
Mhm.
Um, how do they go about doing that and getting the financing for it?
Well, that process is fairly the same
Same.
for units. So if you do see a duplex, we ask questions on, are you using this as an investment property, or are you going to be living in one unit and renting the other? So there are different caveats and different options that you have, but can it be done? Absolutely.
What about first time home buyers who want to start off as an investor and do what you just said, live in one unit, rent out the other to pay their mortgage?
Yes, that is very possible as
Mhm.
well.
Okay.
And that comes with the conversations of, are you going to be living in one, or because there's certain ways to set the loan up and also stay within the guidelines of the specific loan. But can
Gotcha.
that be done? Absolutely.
Awesome. And what if they say, I'm going to go big and get like a 4 unit?
Same process.
Same process.
Correct.
Does it
Because
matter how many units then?
yes, out in general, outside of four, if
Mhm.
they're five, six, seven,
Mhm.
generally that would be the commercial
Okay.
aspect. But
Okay.
again, we have loans that we may be able to assist because we broker loans out
Mhm.
to people that can help us with it. So it's still a conversation. Say, hey, let me talk to you about these 7 units and let me show you how it can work for you.
Right. And that's even a great way still to build wealth. Rather than get a
Absolutely.
single family home, multi-family home, you're doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, what is the best way to contact you?
You can actually, the best way is to directly call me, 803-567-6682. That's my business line. I make myself available from 8 to 8 daily. So even if you got questions on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, guess what? I have answers on the weekend. you can apply at my website, which is Mr. A two, the number two, key.com, which takes you to my application link. It also has my phone number contact on it as well. But I'm also on Facebook, TikTok. Any questions? No questions too small.
Okay. A2 key. I didn't mention
Yeah,
that earlier, so I should
yeah.
have
They
started
call
where
me Mr. 80
it-
Key because I guide you all the way from A
mhm,
to getting those keys at the
gotcha.
end, and I love the idea of helping someone. So I'm known as,
Mhm.
Mr. Hey, Mr. A Key.
Yes.
And I love this is my branding for our company. This is Run GMC, Gilmore Mortgage Company. So I love to brand. I love to have fun with clients, celebrate, and just make sure that this is not just a transition or a transaction, but more of an experience for you.
Yes.
Because any
Yes.
lender can get you to the closing table if they're a good lender, but how easy was your process?
Right.
How memorable was it to you to say, you know what, hey, we use them again because they made it comfortable for me.
Yes. And
And
that's
that's what we come with.
definitely want a comfortable experience because buying a house is one of the most stressful times in a person's life. So, outside of probably starting a family or the other major life decisions, but it's definitely an expensive decision.
Oh, it's definitely the biggest purchase of
Biggest
his
purchase.
life. And there's a lot that goes into it. So you want to be comfortable.
Right.
And I tell my clients up front, listen, I have to make sure that this is comfortable for you because if it doesn't make sense to you,
Yeah.
it's not gonna make sense to me. And we're not gonna put you in a situation where, like you said, you have to be house poor. Nobody wants that.
Absolutely. Well, I certainly thank you for your time today. Is there any
Mm.
closing remarks you'd like to share with the audience?
One thing I would like to share with you guys, it all starts with just a conversation. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me because even if you just want to see where you are, but you feel like you're not ready, let's line a blueprint up. Who's to say we can't just line a path up for you to go from here to there in 2 months, 6 months, or even a year out? It's better to know where you are now so we can make sure we can line it up versus just guessing about the process.
Right. And let us help you get on the path to home ownership. Happy Home Ownership Month. And if you
Mhm.
have any questions, feel free to contact us. My name is Rhonda Green. My number is 704-771-4539. And if you repeat your number
Yeah,
as focus.
it is 803 567 6682. And if you got any questions, you can just text me your name and home, and I'll get back with you within 24 hours.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. Happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you the next time.
All right.
Take care. Bye
Take care.
bye.